They there.
Bro, you had me for a little bit.
I felt your head drop. That wasn't it. Oh, he came to my podcast to lie.
I've been wishing on dreams instead of problem. Genie, come through. I need you about that bottle. Facing highs, ducking lows, on my toes, never on my pivot. I know I'm tripping, the way I'm living is something missing, but I can't get it. I've been wishing on dreams instead of problem. Genie, come through. I need you about that bottle, Nigga, ain't nothing changed but the range. Nowadays, used to cope, I need a...
Yo, what's up? This your man Rudy Winslow with another episode of 30 Black and Nerdy Podcast. Today we have a guest. This guest is a comedian, been all around the world, that did everything. He's from St. Louis, and he'll make me laugh, your mama laugh, everybody. His range is from the church to the club. We got your funny man Larry Greene. What's up?
What's up, man? I appreciate that introduction, man. I'm here. I'm on my Charleston White today, man. No. We gotta put these dogs in.
No. We gotta get this.
Oh yeah, I wake up in the morning. Somebody in jail that make me feel good, man. Make me feel good, man. No, I'm in the building, man. I'm glad this is 30 Black and Nerdy.
30 Black and Nerdy, baby.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be a guest on 30 Black and Nerdy podcast. I appreciate it.
You actually the first guest. Oh, yeah, man.
I wish history?
You made history.
Come on, man. We in the building, yeah, that's all, yeah. I'm in the building.
But no, man, I appreciate you being the first guest. I don't know how long ago it was, but I had reached out to you. Just like, man, if you need some help with some pictures or something, if you need something, like, I'm ready. You actually reached out to me, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Nah, for sure, man. I had actually been seeing some of your work before you had hit me up. You know, we go back, so it was kind of like a no-brainer. I already kind of seen you was already obviously knew what you was doing, so I'm like, you know, might as well link up, get it cracking, man.
So tell me about Larry Greene. You from St. Louis. Tell me about your upbringing and just tell me about you.
All right, man. So I'm actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually from the projects. So it was just like a lot of like killing and, you know, drug
Projects in
dealing.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
How you know that?
Oh, yeah. It was just a lot, man. Like, you know, crackheads coming to the back window. We had doping out. It was a lot, you know what I'm saying? And like I had to bounce in foster home to foster home, sleeping in and out of cars, prostituting. It's just like a lot, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, how you lying on 30 Black and Dirty like that, man?
Hey, that's a project in St. Louis. I mean, it is. I wasn't there. They there. I wasn't there. They there.
Bro, you had me for a little bit.
I felt your head drop. That wasn't it. Oh, he came to my podcast to lie. Oh, my God.
Hey.
That's hilarious.
Hey, when you
energy just
when you went
shifted,
in
boy.
like
I was lying. Hey, you was in the ruining for the people, man.
Bro.
What's it?
Hey, don't.
What's that? Projects?
Bro,
You was working on a project?
Yeah.
Let me stop playing, man.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm from St. Louis, man. St. Louis, you know, North County.
Yeah.
North County, St. Louis. St. Louis, everybody like what high school you went to, man.
Yeah.
Hazelwood East.
Mm-hmm.
Did track, basketball, you know, won some art shows and stuff like that.
Oh, you went to art shows?
Clown. Yeah.
Oh, what type of art did you do?
Visual arts. It was an art show, like it was drawings, pastels and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was crazy because my teacher, you know, we submitted. You was in the class. She liked your work. She just put it in there, and she kept on asking me, was I going to? When I was in high school, I didn't care nothing about no art, like an art show. I'm gonna go there and do what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she kept asking me every day, is you going? I was like, nah. She's like, you going? I was like, nah. She's like, you need a ride? Or is it like, do I need a ride? Like, you know, come to my house? Like,
what you talking like? What type of energy she putting out right now?
It was just like a strong, really strong invite. Yeah. And I kept curving it. So then when I came back, she was passing everybody's stuff back and she was telling who won the awards. Like, 3 of my pieces had place. One of them got first. One of them got best of show. Mm-hmm. So she really knew that and she wanted me to be there. So I was like, dang, I should have went. You know what I'm saying?
Did like when you was in high school and doing like in art competitions, like how did that like correlate to like now comedy, or was comedy just something that snuck up on you?
Man, honestly, people have been telling me I should do it the whole time, like as long as I can remember. I just never did it. You know what I'm saying? But like, when I was in school, we had people visiting. They probably was like a little older, like Clayton English. I remember him coming through. Right?
Clayton English?
Yeah.
From DC Young Fly and,
yep.
and oh snap.
He came through. Ronnie Jordan used to come through. Vanessa Fraction came through. T. Murph was doing comedy then. Hot Sauce came through before. So I was seeing people that was kind of in my age range a little bit. But
85 South Show. That's how I was like, bro, I know this.
Oh, what you call it?
I just said DC Young Fly, but I was like, bro, what is this?
I thought that was you saying what it was.
Yeah.
But nah, man, then there was people my age, like peers that was in school with me, and they was doing it. You know what I'm saying? And people just kind of kept nudging me, like, man, you need to do that. Start picking their brain a little bit. They got to the point where they was like, man, really much else we could tell you. You just got to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a semester in the grad school, I want to say.
Yeah.
They told me about this mic. Left class after the mic, grad school clothes on,
yeah,
collar shirt.
Well, you like off the top, or this is stuff that you already wrote down?
I had 3 stories.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, I ain't feel like I knew how to write.
Yeah.
I just told the stories. And I got laughed off of it, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, this is it.
Guess who's finna drop out? This guy. Out of here, you know what I'm saying?
Real, man.
But nah, that first one, it was such a confirmation for me, bro. Like, I felt a way that I never felt up to that point, and I was just like, I'm supposed to be doing this. So I got up out of there. Man.
And I tell people, I tell people even now, like, yo. I don't got to cut this out. Hey,
nah, we rolling, man.
We rolling. We gonna get
30 black and nerdy, man. This part of being 30.
Hey.
In the building, man.
Hey.
Should've told her to bring me
You
some
good?
tissue. What no, like, what's
You
up,
good,
man?
Hey, go
Say what's up to the people. Say, hey, what's up?
You waving at the camera.
Oh, my bad. Need the mic. Say, hey.
You gotta say hey. Alright, going on with your sister.
In the building, man.
Going on with your sister. Jordan, can you grab him? Thank you.
He outside.
See?
He said, man, what y'all down there doing?
I'm trying to be out here with the fellas. Yeah, I might have to keep that in.
Yeah, man.
That might hit with
that's
the Raiders.
organic, man. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as he came down here.
We're going to leave my project story in. We're going
I'm like, man, this little nigga, here he come. I know he can do something.
Yeah, he hesitated a little bit. I was like, he ain't going to stop. This is about to happen.
He committed.
Yeah, so this is definitely about to happen. Man.
But I tell people like, bro, like I did finish. I did end up going back to grad school and finishing, but at the same time, that's when I realized that I don't want to do what everybody else programmed me to want to do.
Yeah.
Like when you get like that, grad school is like a whole different like environment where it does kind of stunt your creativity. You know,
yeah.
That's how I felt.
Great,
I felt it's
point.
stunning. I felt like it's stunning my creativity to a point where I had to. It didn't stun my creativity. I had to be intentional about my creativity.
Yeah.
Like when I was in grad school, I had to be like, okay, if you still want to be a therapist and all that stuff, what type of therapist you want to be?
Right.
So I didn't kind of limit myself to everybody else. Like I want to work with this. I want to work with this. I want to work with this. Like you know what? I'm gonna be a podcast therapist.
Yeah. How can you put your spin on it?
Yeah.
Nah, that's for sure, bro. You really when you just said that, you said stunt your creativity.
Yeah.
You said, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was doing good in grad school, bro. Like
Yeah.
I did I think I had like 2 A's and a B. Then I came home. I just started Lindenwood program. Did the same thing. Like I was successful in doing it. I just feel like it wasn't doing nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when you say, like, the stunning creativity, it was like, it's weird. Like, if I was to go now, I would 1,000% do me. But when, like, you coming up in academia and went from Flow Valley to SIU and then went to the grad school, you start to take on this kind of collegiate thing.
Black male, walking, suit and tie, professional, handshake, look in the eyes.
I'm a first generation college student, the first slavery, graduated from the plantation. When they start reading, it evolved into me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, I felt that taking me over, and I'm like, damn, bro, like, it felt like it was like stifling me. So once I touched that stage, bro, I was just like, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. Like, they gave me a lot of options too. They was like, you can kind of pause your program for a semester, and then you can kind of. I was like, yeah, but I probably ain't gonna unpause it. So like, I don't even want to play with y'all like that. Like, I'm gonna get all these times before I get out of here, man. But I definitely had that feeling for sure.
And it's a business too, so like, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm anti-college. Like, I think people should go to college and explore and figure out what they like and figure out what they don't like.
Yeah.
I think people should go.
It's on how you identify. You know what I'm saying? College is fluid. It's a spectrum.
It's a
You
spectrum.
can identify. No, I'm just playing.
And I was great. Like, yeah, man, it's a spectrum.
Like,
you can be
like by college, or you can be,
you can be trans college. That's when you transfer from one to another.
Trans college, man. I feel like I'm in college, even though I ain't there. You know what I'm saying? I created my own school. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, like,
stop before I get the podcast shut down.
You gonna get it shut down? You two gonna be like, yeah, Rudy, that ain't it.
Like, I felt like I graduated on the inside. Never mind that degree. Don't look at that. Right here. Look right here.
But nah, I was just saying, like, bro, I tell people, like, yo, it's a business. At the end of the day, they want you there. Right. You know, they want you there. So when you was just saying, like, they was trying to come up with all different ways where you could come back, or maybe we could keep you a little bit. Yeah. And you was just like, nah, that ain't it. That's almost just like a car salesman. Like, dang, so they don't want to do the express payments or delayed payments or nothing like that. It's like, oh, we lost one.
No, that's a fact, man. Like, and it's crazy because I mean I was successful in it, but I didn't feel like that success succeeding at something and losing myself at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I hate the feeling of starting something and not finishing it, but I'm just like, if I finish and I had this piece of paper and get these jobs or whatever, but I don't feel like myself, like, that's a loss to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of what it boiled down to for real.
Just kind of moving a little forward though with comedy. Like, what comedians did you like look to form your identity in comedy?
So when we was in the projects, man, it was this dude that used to be on the corner, and he used to stand there, bro, and you give him a couple of $, he'll wash your car, but he'd do like 15. Let me stop playing, man. So I kind of like, I really did my research in this thing, so I kind of like go back and like work forward. Yeah. So like, going back, I kind of took a liking to like Dick Gregory. You know what I'm saying? Like what he was saying at the time he was saying it, how he was saying it, and then, he from St. Louis. He went to SIU, which I later found out. I actually got to meet him during the whole Mike Brown thing before he had passed and stuff. But like Dick Gregory, Red Fox, you know what I'm saying? I like Red Fox's pen, like super witty, you know what I'm saying? Plus I used to watch his show like a mug. But if I was to like fast forward, Dave Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he really is trying to keep the craft alive. Yeah. With being able to talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just saying nothing just to be saying it. He's pushing the bounds within the craft. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my, he up there for me. It's other people I hate that don't be coming to mind offhand because I like a lot of different people for different reasons. But if I was to just throw somebody out there, I'd definitely say Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Yeah, and I like Dave Chappelle because we live in a time, a day where I never thought we'd be. Like, I thought when it came to comedy, I'm like one of the first comedy specials I seen was, I think, Martin Lawrence Run Tell That. Okay. And like, he was going crazy. Yeah. He was saying some crazy stuff. And then that's when I kind of like went in my own comedy like dive, and then I had to research and see Eddie Murphy like Delirious and different comedy specials, and it was like raw. And then Kings of Comedy, Bernie Mac, his part on Kings of Comedy, and I remembered it at this time where they could say anything as long as it was funny. As long as it was funny. As long as you weren't outright just being super disrespectful. You know, people give you a pass to say it, and
it was all in the name of comedy. Like
it was in the name of comedy, and where Dave Chappelle is probably one of the few black comedians that's like that still like push the envelope and kind of see where he can go on total line. Yeah, and I mean, there's some white comics that do it. Andrew Schultz,
Bill Burr do it too.
Bill Burr do it. Andrew Schultz does it. It's a couple other comedians, but like as far as like black comedians, I really like when they tiptoe on that line, and then they could bring you back. Yeah. And Dave Chappelle, he does a real good job of that.
For sure. Like kind of going along that point you said about like the comedy that you was watching coming up. Yeah. I was watching Comic View, but it was at the point where it'd be like one topic and they'd jump between a bunch of comedians doing a joke on that same topic. Yeah. So that's like the earliest stand-up that I can remember watching. And then I later went back and watched the Def Jam stuff, but my age range, you know, when I was coming up, it was definitely Comic View. Oh, it was a dude on there, dog. I remember Comic View. I think his name was like, I think Tommy Chung. It's something Chung. Yeah. I'm gonna Google it. It's probably Tommy Chung, but dog had this video. He just opened up the joke and he was like, man, watching pornos with your boys is gay. Do you remember that, bro? No, he had me crying. He was like, man, because y'all don't be watching the same thing. That dude, yeah. He said, y'all ain't watching the same thing. We watching, we saying, oh, man, this stuff, ooh, look at her back, man, making slow motion for me. It's like, he gonna come out of nowhere like I know. But did you see his sneak down? See,
that's like a baby leg.
Man, that thing look like a baby leg or something, dog. Somebody need to put a baby shoe on it or something, dog. That thing look like an elbow, dog.
Bro, I remember that. I remember.
It was bleeped out and everything, bro. I'm at the crib crying. Like this dude. I used to think he was Earthquake. It took me a long time to realize that was two different people, bro.
What was his name?
I want to say Tommy Chung, man.
Tommy
I think his last name Chung. I hate that I'm potentially slaughtering it. But like, yeah, I used to watch that. And then outside of that, I remember when I was in high school, one of I messed around and just slaughtered this dude's name. Then one of them Kevin Hart's came out when I was in high school.
Oh, when Kevin,
we was watching that. Yeah. It was his last name is Chung, man. I can't get the first one. His last name Chung though. It was the one where he was like, dude was lifting weights and he was like, hurry up, somebody come out the yard and put it in your face. He was talking about one of his uncles or somebody got out of jail, dog. Yeah. He was talking about him being a trainer or something, dog. He was training him, and it was just like that's when Kevin Hart was like raw. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that was funny. And then later after that, probably was watching like the Chappelle show. Then later his stand up, and stuff like that. Yeah, I think just kind of went from that for real. My favorite show though was definitely Martin.
Oh yeah,
Martin was the coolest. Like
Martin, as far as like physical comedy. Yeah, I can't. Marlon Wayans does it. He does a pretty good job. But Martin is like the master, I think, of like physical, like you look at old like Martin stand up and the TV show.
Yeah, that's
his
what I'm talking about.
Physical comedy was out of this world.
Yeah, like his characters, like all of the snapping with him and going back and forth with Pam and all that. Like the characters, like Martin was cold. I remember one episode. What's his name? Cole was leaving, head out the door. He had a date. And he was like, all right, man, see y'all later. He's like, but if I'm lucky, see you tomorrow. Martin was like, see you tonight, Cole. He just used to be on there with people, bro. Like, that's my show, like, hands down. That's my show, man.
I mess with Martin. It used to always be like these, like, meme going around, like, which one you like better, Fresh Prince, Martin, or Jamie Foxx show?
I just had that conversation last night.
Out of all of them, bro, me and my wife rewatched Martin, and like, bro, Martin is hilarious.
It's standing test.
Martin, Martin, that was different.
Like I said, comedy wise, I said Martin, Jamie Foxx, Fresh Prince. But I said content wise, Martin, Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx.
Okay,
I feel like somewhere Jamie Foxx just started. The show was spinning off somewhere weird. But I feel like Fresh Prince shows tend to have some type of underlying
like
message in it. that was pretty consistent with having a message. But it was in the Jamie Foxx show too. I think at some point it just started changing.
Here I go, here I go, here I go.
Yeah, that's classic, man. You finna make me watch it.
All right, so this, moving just a little further. All right, comedy right now. Like you're in the heat of comedy right now. Like with you going to state and just doing stand up. Like what is competition like in comedy, or is there competition in comedy, or is that something to look out for? Is it good? Is it healthy? Is it not? What do you feel about competition in comedy?
Well, I feel like innately there's competition in it because we all are individually going up there before people.
Yeah.
Comic after comic after comic after comic after comic, getting more or less laughs, making them think more or less, whatever the case may be. So I feel like it's kind of human nature to have a competitive spirit because we keep individually going up before these people doing the same thing on a single night at a single moment. But like ultimately, from like a craft creative standpoint, you kind of got to keep competing with your last best self. As far as the business, it kind of is competition. Like if people somewhere looking for talent and it's your night that night, you know, you kind of outdid whoever else you outdid, but in the same breath, you could have maybe didn't have your best set, but you got something that they can't put their finger on as to why they messing with you. Mm-hmm. So I feel like as far as how you operate, it's kind of like compete with yourself. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with healthy competition and seeing where the bar is at in the game, seeing how stuff going. Oh, he just jammed. Oh shit, I'm about to go up, bro. I gotta turn up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it'd be healthy competition, but you know, not to the point where you're focusing on them. Yeah, I don't feel like that's healthy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So like competition in and of itself is not a bad thing, but when it comes to a point where it's like awakening some type of insecurity in yourself.
Yeah, it's like I ain't really gotta beat you. I'm really just using that to help me do my best me. Like I said, we could be backstage right now and I'm going up in a few and it ain't really too much laughs, but I heard like the crowd go up and it's like, that's gonna get me like I'm naturally gonna be like, oh, that's what we doing? Oh, okay,
let's get it.
But I ain't competing with you though. I'm competing with the crowd. Like now I'm about to hit y'all with let's see how y'all like what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's more so it's you against the crowd versus you against any other comedian.
Yeah. Like I said, if you want to take it like a healthy competition, they jammed, I'm a jam, but they ain't really your focus. It's really you, yourself, and the crowd for real. Yeah.
Man, dang. I never even thought about that. Like it's you against the crowd versus the comedian, because I ain't gonna lie, when I see it sometimes when I go to the different like comedy shows, you instinctively think like which one was the funniest. Right. Who was the funniest? And then a comedian, if I were to ask him, you would say you want to be the funniest. So like me as a fan that's watching, it looks comparative, but to hear you say like we really a healthy
Well, I'm speaking for myself. Yeah.
You more so are competing against the crowd. You trying to win a crowd. It ain't necessarily about Joe whoever that's up on stage.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a whole lot that go into it because it's like I might be featuring on the show. I go up there and murder 100% fire 25 minutes, but ultimately they're there for the headliner, so they're still going to do their thing. Yeah. So it's like I can't quote win. I just gotta do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like to your point, like after the show, like you'd be surprised, man. Like it could be a comic that I think is cold. Like man, he a beast. I'm watching like, ooh, we just got busy, and the next person could be like. It's so subjective too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know what's good, who had a good set, who didn't have a good set, but if we all do our thing, it's apples and oranges. For sure. Because it's gonna boil down to who you might like different people for different reasons. Yeah.
So what do you think about versatility in comedy? Like being able to, like you, I know you've done the church, you've done the club, you've done like different events in St. Louis on a, you know, in maybe like more wealthier environments.
Yeah, wealthy.
like you
gotta break that down, bro.
You know what I mean?
We can't leave that in the air. What that mean, bro?
What I'm saying?
Wealthier environments. You've done climates that were trickling with economics. You gotta
like, all right. You been to the hood, and then you been to the other places. You know, there's a little more. You know, they got a bigger budget.
Big euphemism.
They got a bigger budget. They got a bigger budget.
I'm with you. I got you.
So with you being so like versatile in like, you know, white crowds, black crowds, different type of crowds and different type of economic you know, standards and stuff like that in those cities and spaces. What is that like? What is that like for you to have such a range? Do you think it's harder?
Well, to be honest with you, you're probably gonna find this hard to believe, but something about growing up in the projects just really builds you in a way that make you. It's like a diamond in the rough, man.
Yeah.
It builds that versatility because you got to deal with the police, you got to deal with the dope fiend, you got to deal with the gang. You know what I'm saying? It hits you from so many different ways, man. But like, nah, man. To speak to that, man, I say, me personally, I kind of made it my business to hit different crowds. You know what I'm saying? As much as I could before I even left St. Louis.
Yeah.
Right? It's all these terms we use.
Yeah.
Which we know what it means, but it still don't really. 5 white shows, and it be all different types of white crowds. Economics could be different, could be more racist, not racist, different political stuff, different sexuality. It's so many different things. You know what I'm saying? But like me personally, I strategically used to try to hit all of the rooms that I could, whoever was throwing stuff from the hole in the wall to a church show to a white show to a this show to a that show to a diverse show to a clean show to like whatever, because you know it kind of let me see where I'm at with myself, with my material, what I need to adapt, what do I need to add, and then also within that, like, you kind of find your base as far as like how can I give my fullest self consistently across these different crowds to where people don't feel like they getting a whole different thing every time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just, I feel like it helps ground you as a comedian, because I would like to think you would want to be able to go in front of any room and give them the best you and know how to communicate that to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Thank you. So, shake that one out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so like you, as a comedian, you got to talk to the world. So it's only right to get used to talking to.
Hey, you sound like you just swallowed some helium or something, bro.
Bruh.
That boy said, yeah, so the verse, the comment, hey, you. So I would think like, you got to be able to turn into Jeezy out of nowhere. Take it off, man. You just turned into a midget, man.
Not a midget.
I would think, like, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Yo Gotti. Chill. I'm in the kitchen with a living room.
I'm at auntie house.
I'm in the kitchen with them pots and pans.
All right, I think I'm back.
Back, all right. We're gonna have the water. We're gonna have the water on deck next time, man. We're gonna have the Benadryl water. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a little vapor thing right here. So it just condense the earth. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah. So what I was saying was being able to
making up extra cheese.
Being able to for you being able to perform in different crowds is essential for where you want to go. Like if you only wanted to be with a certain demographic or anything like that, you would stay there. But when you wanted to become like prime time, you gotta perform in front of those people that's gonna be watching the prime time, which is everybody.
Yeah. And I don't like people that do that. You know, I feel like they found their niche and they kind of ran with it. To be honest with you, I can't really quite say that I can say I have, for real. I just try to keep tweaking my funny and, you know, throwing myself in front of different crowds. But ultimately, I just don't want to be in a box. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this towards the end of the 30 Black and Nerdy podcast where I almost killed myself.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. You know, when you swallow it and go down the wrong pipe, and then, like, you almost die and kill yourself.
Yeah, man.
So I think that was part of it.
System just a little different, man, because the environment that I came from.
In the projects, I went like 30.
Somebody could blow some coke in my face right now. I wouldn't sneeze. I wouldn't even get high, man. I'm just, my DNA just different, man.
So we're going to end it with this. Larry Greene's Mount Rushmore of comedians. Who you got?
Oh, damn, man. The Mount Rushmore?
Mm-hmm.
Mount Rushmore. Dave Chappelle. And there's no order.
Okay.
And, you know, we're going to go with the Mount Rushmore. Dave Chappelle. Patrice O'Neal.
You get an honorable mention, too.
Okay. Dang.
Patrice O'Neal.
Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Richard Pryor. Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Richard Pryor. Damn, man, I feel like I ain't thinking about somebody. Dave Chappelle, 'cause I'm trying to make a rounded one because I got each one for a reason.
Dick Gregory. No.
Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Red Fox. It's a few people I could put in that space. And I'm gonna tell you the three it could be. Man, it's a few, man. I can't. It's hard, man, because my brain is thinking Dick Gregory, Red Fox, and then I'm gonna just pick some. I'm just gonna do it for the sake of it. Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal. Ooh, I forgot about Paul Mooney. This is hard, man. Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal.
Paul Mooney used to be in the Dave Chappelle show.
Richard Pryor. You know what's making it hard is errors, bro. Like, if I was to go closer this way, I'd probably have, like, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Cat Williams, and probably, like, Martin or something. Mm-hmm. So maybe over here I have to add Eddie Murphy then. So I probably got to go Patrice O'Neal, Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy. But then I got a Red Fox.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dick Gregory. It's hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's hard because it's like saying a Mount Rushmore basketball.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't put what's the tall dude name that hit the 99 points that said he was hitting all them chicks? Is it Bill? What's his name?
Will.
Maybe let's say Will Chamberlain.
Will
Chamberlain or Bill Russell. I would not put them on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But historically, you kind of got to because of what they did when they did it. So that's what it's hard because right now you're going to go Kyrie, Kobe, MJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, man. I just say for the heck of it. Dang, because Cat Williams popped in my head, man.
Cat Williams cold.
I'm a do one just for the 30 Black and Nerdy, man.
30 Black and Nerdy,
This can always change. I'm going to just say this just right now for today. Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Cat Williams. Man, Chris Rock got slapped though. That just smacked him out of my.
What?
Hold on, he got slapped out of the mountain. He got slapped off the mountain, bro. Will Smith.
Oh, you heard it. This your boy Rudy Winslow. You heard your boy Rudy Winslow over here with Larry Greene. You get his Instagram and all his contact information to be in the descriptions. Thank you for watching 30 Black and Nerdy. We out. Peace.
I've been wishing on dreams instead of problem. Genie, come through. I need need you about that bottle. Facing highs, ducking lows, on my toes, never on my pivot. I know I'm tripping, the way I'm living is something missing, but I can't get it. I've been wishing on dreams, is that a problem? Genie, come through, I need you about that bottle, Nigga, ain't nothing changed but the range. Nowadays, it's a cope, I need a